Sir, you remember the kids from that South Park elementary school?
Oh, yes, the Boom Boom Chubby Choom Choom School. I like the A1 peppercorn burger. They got bottomless fries.
Hey, get down to State Street. They're occupying Macaroni Grill.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll occupy me some goat cheese pepper-do peppers.
It's Clyde Frog and It's Tumples Trump. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of SMB, a South Park Review.
Matt.
No idea what Dane was saying there because he was muted the whole time. I muted everybody because the intro was going down. But Scoop,
I just let him keep going.
Scoop knew it. He understood it. He understood
I just kept letting him.
You fucking piece of crap. Matt, for our viewing members, had me muted the whole intro before we started the show. And I'm talking
this dude was going
tequila here, and I'm chit-chatting, and this motherfucker's just looking at me, looking like he can hear me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host in the East, where there seems to be a lot of yeast. I'm your boy who's gonna cry because die, Rocky, die. I'm making up shit here right on the fly. I still don't have intro, and I don't know why, so I'm coming off the top of my head, and now you know why. I'm here, Matt Shaver, for another edition of SMB, a South Park Review.
Wow, that was like Shay in the mornings, man. Great freestyle.
Just going. How you dealing with that smooth?
That's how you do it.
And that's how you skip it.
Let's go.
The time out.
Let's go.
The time out.
Let's go.
The time out.
I'm here to bargain.
It's the Scoopster.
I've come to bargain.
I've come to bargain. Of course, this man likes to bring that pain in the digital marketing game. He's the man who solicits those pics to get your clicks.
Hi.
Producer, director, on-screen talent.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Becker.
Hi, viewers. Yes, I've had some good interviews in the past week. Almost got that VP role, but ended up being number 2. But you know what that means to me? Is that I'm a 30-year-old number 2 VP. And that's pretty all right with me. I just also had a shot of Cabo Wabo tequila, so I'm feeling all right. But it's good to be here today, man. It's good to be here with my boys in the East.
That's right, Dean. We're happy you're here. Scoop, we're happy you're here. Before we get started, though, of course, shout out to the 2022 Red Rock State 1 South Park Trivia Champion, the Dr. Thugonomics, Punkonomics, Polyphonics, and Scooponomics. He is a trivia God. He will be returning to the next week's episode for History Channel Thanksgiving. So we'll see you then, Joe, because Joe's now doing Monday and Tuesday night stuff. So we're all trying to rearrange our schedules too, so we can all get together and talk to you. All right. And of course, as we continue on, let's get into some feedback here, guys. Check this out. So I'm cruising along. Of course, I'm always encouraging the viewers to send in their emails. So, to this person, Miss Emerson, I apologize for being late. I moved across the country. You sent this at the end.
You for being late, Matt. Miss Emerson.
Mr. or Miss Emerson, I'm not sure. I don't want to appropriate. So Emerson themselves sent us an email all at the end of March here. So, of course, I was moving across the country. So let's get their feedback. Hey, hello. I got you guys through the podcast on Pocket Cast. I wanted to thank you for everything you do. I have multiple sclerosis, and I'm having a really bad time right now. I'm slowly losing my body movements, which is difficult for a young athletic man like me. Okay, so it's a man. What's up, dude? I'm just reading live here.
Buddy.
I'm reading it live. Thank you for your work, for keeping me company at this difficult time. Listening to the podcast helped me out. I'm a big fan of SP, and what I like most was that you really like South Park. You make direct references. Here in Brazil, there's a channel that it talks about South Park, but like anything in Brazil, it is poor quality, only talks about
The guy just committed suicide by Brazil.
and only talks about controversial things, seeking attention. For being good fans and doing this beautiful work of yours, I am a big fan of yours and thank you directly. Hugs. And then they said something in Brazil, so I'm not going to butcher that. So I'm saying, I'm guessing that's probably
Viva la Brazil.
no,
Brazil.
it's not that. I'm not. It's like a atiaciante maente, maybe.
No, see, you just got 100 Brazilians screaming at you already, Matt. You better stop.
Maybe it's a attenzione samante, Emerson. Enviado vi proton. Oh, that's from his Android.
Emerson,
That's saying
you
it's from his
are me and Kanta. How about that? And Emerson, look at about that MS, man. I've known so many people with
me
it,
too.
and like it. Just think about it like this: they have such long lives, and all they need to do is just adjust their accessibility. And look, at the end of the day, the best thing we grow in life is our minds. So you're going to be good, man. And keep listening to the podcast. Anything that we can do for you, we're here, man. But look, that shit's not going to overcome you. You're going to overtake it.
You get it, Emerson. You get it. Dane Becker here with wise words from the Baconator. Ladies and gentlemen.
It's like the Baconator, honestly.
So that's true. So here we go. Check it out. Adelaide sends in some more information. Adelaide sent in from last week. Apparently, Whitney Houston's "Crack is Whack" clip from the 2002 Diane Sawyer interview, because we were talking about crack on that episode. Oh my God. And she was giving the feedback. I also pooped my pants in the 7th grade. After school let out, I had to pick up my sister from the elementary school down the street. However, when I was crossing the bridge, I had this deep sense of doom. My stomach gargled, and I thought it would be an easy fart until the moment I began to release.
You see, when you let go those questionable farts, they always turn into poo. Isn't that right, Scoop?
Never gamble on a fart.
Never gamble on a fart.
Never
You
gamble.
said I got the wise words. That's the wise words from Scoopimus.
Continuing, splash. So now I have to shuffle down the bridge with the clenched cheeks while thick fluid is falling down my legs. Then
splash.
Then scuttling through big shot elementary kids to find my sister. Ugh, wonderful. Dane, you said crack is whack because you were channeling the goddess Whitney. That's why she wanted to say that.
You know, actually, that is right. I was, because just like Mrs. Houston, number one, you may hit me, you may slap me, but I ain't gonna be dictated by no man. And number two, yeah, crack is whack. So Adelaide, we love you.
And we will always love you. And finally, she says, and yes, Lemmy Weeks is a whole subcult classic icon. If I had to save a manatee or Lemmy Weeks, it might be Lemmy Weeks. I love when they bring the Hobbit music and animations. The songs are clutch. Yes, for the animation of the rat fight on early YouTube days. And she cited the squirrel fight from May 11, 2012, the video itself, and their PSA about never going bass them out. It's all good as long as you're safe. Otherwise, it could be devastating. Yay for episode 222. Have a good day. Thank you, Adelaide.
Better animal rights and human sexuality speak from Adelaide researching South Park than in school. Thank you, Adelaide. Godspeed.
God's freaking speed. And thank you, Emerson from Brazil. Yeah, man. That's sweet, dude. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Let me give a good drop for just remember, Emerson.
Beating off the dog is not appropriate when we have company.
Ever.
Emerson.
Beating off the dog is not appropriate ever.
Sorry.
Emerson. Come on.
Except
I thought this was America. Huh?
Here in America, it's okay.
Emerson, instead of the old saying "come to Brazil," Emerson, why don't you come to America?
Well, you know, let him try to lead his life. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this podcast about the 1%. No, we're not talking specifically about the 1% Wall Street controversy that happened back in the day, but in a parody type episode. We're on track, ladies and gentlemen. This is 1%, is the 12th episode of season 15 and the 221st episode of South Park, as it first aired on November the 2nd, 2011.
Now Discord.
224.
That makes this SMB224.
Sit down and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Dormammu.
Yeah. Everyone sit down and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That was good.
I hate you guys.
Wait.
Just walk away.
Just walk away, okay? I'm just jumping from.
Wow, he's really good at that.
I'm just jumping.
No way he just said that.
That's been your favorite one. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 1%, and let's get into it. The 99% is ganging up on Aaron Cartman. That is the simple, straight to the point plot point of what this whole episode is about.
Big no.
Big no. Now, at an assembly, the student body
Uh-oh.
of South Park Elementary
Mm-hmm.
is informed that they have scored the lowest in the entire country on the presidential fitness test. Basically, for those who don't know, outside the country, like Emerson, we have this thing called the presidential fitness test in schools where, like, if you get like a specific amount of criteria, prerequisites, meeting in athletic events or exercises, you'll get recognized by the president. Some people get a medal depending on how well they do. Most of the time, you just get a certificate if you meet all the requirements.
Yeah.
So we had this in school, and this is what the kids were doing on this fine day. However, they scored the lowest because Eric Cartman's health is so bad. It single-handedly ruined what
He
have
was so
otherwise.
fat, he changed the bell curve on his own.
Exactly. Basically, the school would average, but because Eric Cartman's health is so bad, he brought them under the average.
Scoop has run into the same thing, but it's been attractiveness contest. Scoop is so unendingly sexy that he just ruins it for everyone else on the runway. Isn't that right, Scoop?
Sorry. Sometimes.
I'm telling you. Matt.
Blue light special up in here, baby. Check the light if you're watching here later on YouTube. Thanks, Darren. Shout out to you later. I told him he could jump on the podcast because he posted on the Discord. Hey, I don't want to jump in if there's gonna be too many people. I was like, well,
Darren, it's only
What do you
3
mean too many
people. Come on. This episode might need some baseball stats, Darren.
he's not here. He's not in the stream yard. If he was, I would pop him in. You know, big bang do. But that's okay, Darren. How about you? So moving on, we then see Eric Cartman. As a result, students have to take additional physical education in place of a recess for 4 weeks, with each grade altering every day. And when they rebuke him for this, he accuses them of being the 99% that is ganging up on him, making him the 1%. And Craig dismissively tells him to go home and cry to his stuffed animals as usual. Cartman does just that.
Wouldn't this make Cartman like a weird point something? This would make it'd be like the 99.9 something else ganging up on the point something like 112 or some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
But what we also should recognize in this episode is we're going to also see a little bit of the death of Eric Cartman in this episode because Eric Cartman,
Get spoilers.
he's going to, I know, but Eric Cartman is going to kill off a piece of his personality in this episode.
That ending always gets me.
The ending always gets me, but we'll get there. Let's get into our first clip here on another edition of SMB, a South Park review. And tell Dane what you really think. Sending us your email to SMB.
Tell Dane specifically.
suckmyballspod@gmail.com, at SouthParkPods with an S on X, at SouthParkPodcast on Instagram, and at SouthParkPod everywhere. Think linktr.ee/SouthParkPod.
Give us your thoughts and all.
Tell
Go
Dane
down.
what you think about, anything in life. Dane wants to hear it. Dane's here for you. Love stories, perils, faults, joys, laughter. Dane wants to know it all. Dane Becker.
I'll lift my shirt up if you do.
Dane wants to be your guide into the future of life. Take
Your
Dane Becker
Sherpa up the mountain of existence.
of glory. Yeah. So take the Dane Becker challenge and grab hold because we're going for a trip. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get fucking episode.
I'll just end up like AEW and I'll like break my hip a week before I get on the mountain itself.
Well, hopefully we don't see someone trying to climb a mountain here.
This episode brought to you by Blue Apron, MSG.
Last week, the students of this school participated in the presidential fitness test.
Of course, as you
I'm
hear and
sad
see.
to announce that South Park Elementary scored the lowest in health and fitness in the entire country.
not even just the state of Colorado, the whole country.
Not a good start. Not a good start.
No.
On the whole, you students actually scored fine. But the president's fitness test is scored on a school-wide average. And one fourth grader at this school scored so low, with a terrifying body fat score and high blood pressure and the
Look at Cartman. He's just sitting there.
He's like,
cholesterol levels of a 70-year-old man that it actually brought your entire school's average down to the lowest in the country.
Scoop, The cholesterol level of a 70-year-old man. Give us an idea of how much fucking cholesterol that would have to be.
And go.
Average? I don't know. It'd be, maybe if you don't stop eating butter, stroke levels. Might have stroke.
That is fair. And we don't see Cartman have any kind of like medical emergencies for his fatness until much later. So this guy is so large that he made this school single-handedly the worst in the country. And yet he's almost immune to any of its effects right now.
How hasn't he had either a heart attack or a stroke? Or some other there's a number of other just sheer things that he should have right now.
Cartman is
diabetes and he should be Eric Cartman. I'm Eric Cartman. You have diabetes.
Yes, that should be how it goes. In a just world, diabetes would have affected Eric, and Scott Tenorman would live a normal life. He would be a part of the group. He'd be having these adventures, and yet we have the lovable Eric.
Scoop, I don't mean to be that guy, but I feel like I need to be the one to point it out now. You're going to need to now get some sort of color background. I have chosen blue. Dane has chosen green. You must now choose a color and join us. That is your mission now.
Get a colored light pointed at that wall. I'm thinking red, purple.
Purple,
I was
yellow.
literally just thinking of red.
Like
a red light.
Anyway, just keep that. You don't have to do that now, but now that is your mission. You will join us in the color background spectrum.
I shall join you.
Are you sure? So let's see if South Park is going to join in on Eric's, laziness. That's not accurate. They're not going to.
However, President Fitness Program never wants to single out one child because then that child might feel bad.
Oh.
And so, as far as we're concerned, you're all a bunch of fat fucking pigs.
Now,
bunch of fat fucking pigs.
Now, I just like this. Mr. Mackey's like, can you please rephrase that?
Could you please use a little different terminology?
Sorry, as far as the board is concerned, you're all a bunch of fat fucking pigs.
This man shows violence, and for good reason. Honestly, if we had more transparency in government like this, it'd be a lot better.
It would be. These are fair points.
This board that every week each class will alternate turns, giving up their recesses and instead reporting to PE.
Ooh, that would be my worst nightmare, man. At any point in my schooling, if high school had recess and we had to take PE instead of it, I'd be like, I'm gonna piss my pants. I'm gonna piss my pants. Yeah, those restrictions, man. Goodness. I went up through the Christian school system, and like that shit got crazy. I'm like, dude, there's like maybe 100 students here, and I gotta get a hall pass. What the fuck am I gonna do?
All right, back to this episode now. Here's the students upset that they now have to do extra PE, and of course Cartman is going to be complaining about it rather than just shutting up and taking his lumps because he doesn't understand that he's the one that got them all in the place. And I really like the photo placement, how they set this scene up. Cartman is front and center. You know what I mean?
I feel like I would be trying to hide in the back. Like,
right? Here's the boys.
Yeah.
Here's the boys in their gym clothes.
Great class, you're up first. We're gonna do some rope climbing.
God, this sucks.
Yeah.
We gotta do this?
Yep.
Well, let's just suck it up, guys. All we can try to do is have a positive attitude about it.
At this point, they
performance,
should
let's start with
suck bath that motherfucker.
At this point, all you can do is just have that day, man, guys.
Suck bath.
climb the rope.
Climb the rope.
Kenny doesn't have to change.
Look at Kenny. He's so poor, huh, you guys? His family's so poor they couldn't pay the $3.99 for the gym outfit.
All right, let's go, Broflovsky.
Dude, they have to pay?
Hey,
It should be illegal.
look, you guys, a Jew on a rope. You know what they call a Jew on a rope? All right, Cartman,
Oh.
stop ripping on other people to make yourself feel less embarrassed about the fact we're all here because of you. Hey, whoa, we are here because the average score was low. That's on
This
all of
is
us.
a little different.
Because of you. It's your fault that we have to do this. We have
Sam
to do
did
this
start
because you're
sounding
unhealthy.
different around this
Yeah,
time, though.
we're Peg for your big fat.
Mhm.
Wow, Craig. I can't believe
Wow,
you just
Craig.
went there.
Wow, Craig. I can't believe you just read that. I
I mean,
like
he's the first one to point out he's gay.
I just like this part. We were just having a good time, making fun of Kenny and Jew on a rope. And you had to go make fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wait, I got an advertisement here. Close that out.
Here we were having a perfectly nice conversation about Kenny being poor and Kyle being a Jew, and you just decided to go 9/11 and bust out the fat quip.
We are here because of you, Eric, so just keep your mouth shut.
Oh my God! Why doesn't everyone just back off? I know how this works. You're the 99% ganging up on the 1%. Oh, grow up. Jesus Christ!
Technically, in this,
99%
you're the
only ganging up on
99%.
me.
Dude.
That's what we mean by grow up, dude. Stop being a baby. Yeah, why don't you go home and cry to your stuffed animals again?
Finally called him out on that. Like, you never thought anyone would know about like fucking Rumpelstiltskin and Clive or whatever the fuck. But like the fact he called him out on that's so brutal. That went right to his heart.
Peter Panda.
All right, so yeah, Matt, go through it. Cartman's in his room. He's got his stuffed animals, and he's crying with all around him. But who we got here? What's the fucking lineup?
We got Clap Frog, Polly Prissy Pants.
Okay. All right.
Is it Peter Panda?
Peter Panda. Muscle Man Mark.
Muscle Man Mark.
Muscle Man Mark. I was thinking Muscle Man Michael, but I didn't.
Oh, that's close. And then the go ahead.
Isn't he like
Rumpelstiltskin?
Is it just Rumpelstiltskin?
Oh yeah, it's just Rumper-Tumskin.
Rumper-Tumskin.
Rumper-Tumskin. All right. Thank you. That's the cast.
That's the cast of Where We Are, right here on SMP. Cartman's crying.
And then Wendy said that they were the 99% and I was the 1% that made me
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened, Eric.
But Eric, you are cute. I know, Cloud Frog, but now the 99%.
Cartman's own inner manipulation tactics to cope with his own fucking demented psycho manipulation.
Yeah, it's like Ed Gein talking to the body of his dead mother. It's like, this is the same thing. This guy's got a whole conscience outside of his body.
If this was a real kid, by the time he grew up, he would definitely be a serial killer.
Oh my God, he'd be like Jeffrey Dahmer motherfucker. He'd be beating them at clubs. He'd be fucking drilling holes into their head. Yeah, Cartman would be crazy.
Fucking making you eat people.
Deanne Cartman would literally be like stuffed in an upper room.
Well, Eric, how can they blame you for what is clearly President Obama's fault?
Yeah. No, that's it.
What do you mean?
That's it.
This is where he shifts
You
it.
didn't make that stupid presidential fitness test. Obama did. Yeah, that's right, Eric.
Yeah, it was Obama.
You're awesome and cute.
Dude, that shit's been around since I was a kid.
Yeah,
our parents.
Didn't Michelle just kind of like do it, like dust it off? Like it got forgotten about. And the only thing they did is like, oh, we're supposed to be having these every year.
Right. We're not doing this. We should probably do this now. I don't know.
Yeah, kids are fat now because of what we feed them also.
Fat.
Yeah, well, that's because we stopped fucking giving natural foods and everything's all preservative bullshit with ingredients.
Yeah, and then we wonder why they fail the test that we give them after we feed them garbage.
After we feed the kids goddamn garbage. All right, well, moving back here into the episode here, as you saw, and you got to know a little bit what about Cartman's conundrum is. Now, after Cartman has a, pity party there with his little guy, his little stuffed characters, if you will, his fantasy is, I think, more really reality in Cartman's mind, right?
Yeah.
The crew itself.
Yeah. Hey guys, I brought over another body. Oh, Eric, it's so cute. Kill more people, Eric.
Yeah, so when the boy, as you heard there, when the toys tell him that the fitness test is President Obama's fault, this is going to lead Cartman to conclude that he is being blamed because it is not politically correct to blame a black president, even accusing the student-filled cafeteria being the 99% rally being held against him. This also, of course, is going to incite Butters and Jimmy to form a 99% club to protest their being punished for Eric's poor health. And an angry group of fifth graders agrees, saying that it's time to make Cartman suffer.
Jesus.
So jumping back here into this episode.
SMB is SouthParkPod.
Terminator, he wanted a divorce, and apparently it's all going to be fun.
Back to Terminator.
Dude, Butters, how many times do we have to go over this? That's not Skeletor. That's a woman named Maria Shriver.
Then why does his face look like that?
His?
I love the callback there. That was great.
Why
Everybody's
not?
quiet.
What? What?
Just immediately.
What are you guys talking about?
The whole school.
What are you talking about?
The whole school he's asking this.
I knew it! You guys are having a big 99% rally, aren't you? Occupying the
lunch.
cafeteria? You want to know why you guys are all here protesting? Because you're pissed off, but you actually think it's wrong to be pissed off at a black president, so you're all just pissed off at me!
Yep.
Well, go ahead! Have your little rally to figure out how to stick it to the 1%. See what it gets you!
And like they were literally just eating lunch.
Here's the council guy from the President's Council of Fitness talking to the staff about Eric Cartman and, of course, the fitness tests and results.
Maybe we should form a 99% club.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. If
As
all the
well as
students
Jimmy
unite,
and Butters.
We can work together to fight this.
99%.
Because like Jimmy ain't fat. This ain't his fault.
One lazy bitch. Let's make him suffer.
Let's make it.
Like, and who's that kid?
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy. Here comes
Yeah.
the President's Council on
Hello,
Fitness.
sir. We are here on behalf of all
Literally at a
corporate-
strip mall, which is
Ah,
accurate.
yes, the Fatty Boombalati.
The Fatty Boombalati School.
Yeah, bro. Hello. Damn.
Savage.
Yeah.
What's the extra PE
To the
treating
point.
you?
Sir, we believe your fitness system is flawed, and that for 99% of us, it is unfair.
And what do you want me to do about it?
Well, sir, we believe that the 1% should be dropped from the fitness results so that our scores can be more accurate.
Oh,
Right, that's
that's
impossible.
no hard questions.
I mean, that's a pretty smart indication. I mean, normally speaking, if 99% of the school was like at least an average decent shape, then they would just drop that 1% and give them a pass.
Yeah, they literally that's kind of actually how a bell curve
Yeah.
works. It's like it makes
Yeah.
sure that the majority isn't punished for a minority, so it goes the opposite way around. That's why it's a bell instead of like, I don't know, a U.
Yeah.
Interesting.
National Fitness Test has very specific standards. No one child can ever be made to feel singled out. We don't even like to use the term physically fit anymore because it can make a student feel unphysically fit, and then that student might end up feeling like a total retard.
But if they're
Excuse me, could you use
never
different
mind.
terminology,
Don't
please?
say.
Excuse me, can you do this terminology, please?
And then that fourth grader might end up feeling like a total retard.
This
Just
guy,
fantastic, this guy. Like, where is he from?
I don't know. He's from the National
government.
Fitness.
Yeah.
Sir, all of the students already know who the 1% is.
All you're doing is making the 99% more angry. I warn you, this could turn very ugly.
And it will turn very ugly. But before we get there, here's Cartman lamenting some more to his stuffed animals.
Fucking 99%ers? What did they take?
Are you sure, sweetie?
After
I'm
his
sure. Look at this place.
But who?
stuff is
Don't
broken
you
into.
get it, Mom? People voted for Obama.
Came back
so
to his
now
room
everything
and it's like
sucks after Black Day.
trashed.
Yeah.
Completely
They
trashed.
didn't take my Stormtrooper watch. My Arkham City game is still here. What else
Very
is it?
important item.
Flat frog.
My God.
Pointer.
Clad Frog. What? No!
He's moving.
Clad Frog! They took Clad Frog!
The Clyde Frog that we have seen since the beginning.
The Clyde Frog, the OG. And this, ladies
The
and
OG
gentlemen,
frog.
you know, I guess let me back up here just to give a little story here. What's going on? So Cartman discovers his beloved stuffed animals are missing in this regard. So it starts off with mutilation and destroys,
Jesus.
and they're going to be destroyed one by one. And it begins with his beloved Clyde Frog.
Clad! Clad Frog! Clad Frog!
So we just saw Clyde Frog nailed to the tree in his backyard, in Eric's backyard, with the spray paint, maybe blood written word revenge across the trunk of said tree.
Sorry about that.
Vengeance is what.
It's almost like Batman killed Clyde Frog.
And now, immediately after that, Cartman decides to have a funeral for Clyde Frog.
I'm Clad Frog since I was 2 years
The
old.
nicest funeral I've ever
He was a
seen.
fighter, a big hitter. But most of all, Clad Frog was the perfect friend. He never said anything.
All the kids are just bored out of their mind.
but they're all dressed in black.
What he wanted to do.
Right.
Except Kenny.
Sat there going along with whatever I
Kenny
wanted.
was in blue.
A noble trait that seems lost on you 99%ers. And now
That's right. Kenny's only got a blue. He doesn't have a black fucking suit. He just has a blue tuxedo.
Too far.
That he wore it to some fucking wedding one time, so he still has it.
we live in a world where one of you has decided to become a murderer.
One of you.
Well, whoever you are, I'm sure you're sitting there right now
I like that part. He just starts describing Kyle.
in your little green hat
Yep.
with your left cheek resting against your hand thinking, I'm not getting away with this, am I? Because whoever you are, maybe you still have
That's
one
a
little
mistake, man.
humanity left, covered up and tainted black by years of Jewish propaganda and left-wing lies. Maybe you
Shut
just
the hell up, Cartman.
got something to say, Cam?
Been referencing him directly. I love it. I love it. I love it.
How do you murder a stuffed animal?
How do you murder a stuffed animal? You tell us, Scout.
You did it, guy.
No, but let's
Honestly?
not get ahead of ourselves.
Kill
There's
my
still a
stuffed
big
animal. I'm
investigation
gonna
to
treat it
come.
like this.
And until we prove beyond a reasonable doubt who the killer was, you are all just as guilty as Cal. Thank you so much. Bagpipes, please.
Thank you so much. Big time.
Just immediately.
He's got legitimate people here. But yes, and then Cartman starts singing. Go for it, Dave.
Fly, fly, little dove, to the welcome arms of Christ above.
Just
Your tears are finally
he's
gone.
the coffin's being lowered in the backyard. There's a hole dug. It's like Cartman's mom had to spend a lot of money on this.
This is like the most fucking G move, though, to get people to come to a funeral. Where's our $50? Oops.
Oh yeah, that's right. He offered
$5.
them money.
Oh, $5.
It said in the email if we came, we each got $5.
Yeah,
Oops.
$5 has been donated in each of your names to the Clyde's Law Foundation.
Ah.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not going to leave. I'm going to find out who did this to Clyde, and I'm going to have your fucking bow.
Yeah. Okay. Incredible. Just incredible.
Like, I mean, what I really like about that, I mean, like I said, it's genius. The fact that you got all these people that come to the funeral and be like, $5 has been donated in the name of the Clyde Foundation.
Showmanship. It's the showmanship I respect.
Yeah.
So, yes, as you heard there, one by one, we will move down the line. Now, when the head of the Colorado Division of President's Count Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition refuses to drop Eric's test scores from the school's average, Butters and Jimmy stage a two-man protest outside his office that, despite its size, attracts the attention of the police. And a 2-square-mile perimeter around them is created. With accompanying news media and the news networks mistakenly report that they are occupying that Red Robin 2 doors down from the council office.
Not the Red Robin.
We had
we don't-
Red Robin for Marley's birthday Saturday.
Nice. Now, I will say,
it was so good.
coming up here, not in this scene, but in the future scenes when the newscasters are interviewing the people, one of my favorite lines in this episode is going to be coming up. Sir, why did you occupy Red Robin? The burgers and I got bottomless fries.
This is my favorite. The way he says that. Bottomless fries.
Bottomless fries.
Bottomless fries.
It's so good.
Sir, you remember the kids from that South Park elementary school?
Oh, yes, the Boom Boom Chubby Chum Chum School.
They're all
Jesus.
protesting
Come on,
outside,
man.
saying our system isn't fair to the 99% of them.
Oh, my Jesus. Oh, not a 99% rally.
Unfair to 99%.
Luke's.
Tom, I'm reporting from the middle of a protest where 2 fourth-grade students are fed up and have decided.
That's how bad local news will be, though, people. Like, they'll have nothing to do during the day. They're like, oh, we got something. Let's go do
They'll
it.
run and cover like maybe 2 people outside of a Walmart.
Right? What are you guys out here for? Tell us why you're out here.
Decided to occupy Red Robin.
Red
My
Robin.
Red Robin has been going on for several hours now. And boys, technically I am part of the 99%. So what do I have to say about all this?
What? As the news times, go ahead and make up my mind for me.
All right. And that is how they fade to black there before they go to the next commercial break. So they come out of commercial break, and well, here comes some more developments in the Cartman saga with Polly Prissy Pants.
Why would somebody do such a
Peter
terrible
Pan.
thing? Why would somebody hurt Clyde Frog, Eric? Especially because you are so awesome and cute.
I know that I'm awesome and cute, Polly Prissy, but it has little relevance at the moment to Clyde Frogg's murder. Let's stop this charade, Eric, and let's get down to business. What do you mean, Robert Thompson? We all know who fucking killed Clyde Frog, and she's the same dirty slut who's been fucking with us our whole lives.
Jesus. Oh, yes.
Now it's funny.
Look at the look of terror.
Now it's funny because,
His
like,
hormones.
yes, Leanne, yes, exactly, Scoop. Leanne comes in, the look of terror, and the thing is, like, she knows her son so well that she
She's
plays
like-
along.
And she's surrounded. Yeah, she has no choice but to.
Yeah.
Eric, sweetie, is everything okay?
Does everything look okay?
Sit down, you fucking bitch. Yes, sit down, Mother. We are all having a tea party. Sit down, you fucking bitch.
This is some psycho shit though. Like if you came home to your kid
This is-
doing this,
Oh, it's
This-
insane.
yeah.
Like
it's-
immediately
just-
to the nearest therapist. Immediately.
I would just look in and turn around and walk out like I want nothing to do with that right now.
I'm calling the police.
Right.
You know, if it was Marley, I would think it's normal. You know, it should be totally fine. Just
Yeah.
chilling with some dolls, having a tea party. But Cartman, yeah, this would be pretty terrifying.
You do that sometimes too.
And we all do, don't we?
Sweetie, I see that you're a little disturbed right now, but maybe you can.
A little disturbed.
Bitch. Yeah, you know what you did, Skunk. You let Clyde Frog get murdered.
No, Rumpertumskin, I didn't. I swear.
He's talking to
Then
them.
why did you write in your diary it was probably time for Eric to grow out of his stuffed animals anyway? That's an excellent point, Muscle Man Mark. Please continue. Well, all
Muscle
I'm
Man
saying,
Mark.
Eric, is that
Sweetie, you really can just talk to me if you.
all I'm saying, Eric, is that
Look at his
he's-
tattoos. It's
illusion, ma'am.
Clyde Frog and It's Tumples Trump.
Rumble Tunction.
Oh, he's got Muscle Man Mark's got tattoos of his bros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite thing
Total
about
bro.
favorite thing about this scene is
that-
that Leanne knows the voices by heart.
Does
So she
Muscle?
knows who to respond to.
Do you think Muscle Man Mark is supposed to be a parody of CM Punk here, Dane?
I think he is definitely one of the wrestling buddies. You know,
Like
the
from
ones
the
that you beat up.
2012 era.
Oh yeah, but
You know what
like
I mean? And
absolutely-
stars.
like, and look at the colors of the star. Like the placement of the stars are near perfect, but look at the colors. That's Pepsi Phil right there, boy. That's Pepsi Phil.
That's what I was thinking.
Pepsi Phil confirmed.
CM Punk.
I'm
Yep.
sorry for a reason.
Eric, I promise you, I didn't do anything to your favorite toy. Whoever did this
Verdict's
to you,
still out, ma'am.
them as much as
Sorry.
You do, and
Yeah.
I'll do anything to get to the bottom of it.
No, not gonna fly, ma'am.
So then, we are all going to need some more tea.
Now, when other boys ask the fifth graders if they're behind the mutilations that start happening here, they do not give a straightforward answer. Instead, they state that Cartman has had his coming, or had his come-ups coming for a long time.
I mean,
And he's had his come-ups coming.
the come-ups.
He had come-ups coming
Oh, my
for a long time, and that because the rest of the Cartman fourth grade classmates have failed to rein in his problematic behavior, they're going to take care of it. They warned Stan and his friends not to interfere. And when Peter Panda, another of Cartman's toys, is destroyed by a fire set in Cartman's bedroom one night, he seeks refuge with surviving stuffed animals at Tolkien Black's home. Because according to Cartman, Black people are not subject to criticism or harassment, and he feels safe there.
Damn.
It's
So
almost
racist.
like he knows that they are more than white people, and he just says that shit.
Right?
You know Cartman.
Yeah, that's true. Well, here's the cops now setting up the 2 mile perimeter because they believe that this is going to be a giant protest of the 1%.
Protest has
99%.
quadrupled in size since this morning.
Quadrupled in
As you can see
size.
from this aerial photograph, the protest now covers almost 2 square miles. We have riot officers here, here, and here. The media has been contained to this area. And where are the actual protesters? Oh, these 2 people right here. How are we going to contain this thing? I'm afraid it's about to get worse. See this area here? This is where we're setting up the stage for Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi? These are good cops. We can't have them standing around for hours without some entertainment. The problem is, with this area blocked
He's a
by
good
gathering
cop.
tents, we have no place to serve the officers beer. Damn it! Don't these protesters know what this is all heading towards? Full-on
is heading
class
towards?
warfare.
Full on class warfare. All right, so now here comes
Wow.
here comes the next big death here, the fire. As we mentioned, Cartman is sleeping in the middle of the night. All of a sudden, he wakes up to burning flames. About to catch on to his bed. He smells it. Wakes up.
What the hell?
What does he see? Fire. And of course,
Ah, my roommate!
Peter Panda.
Peter Panda!
That's dark. That is dark.
That is dark, dude. Damn.
That is very dark. And the fact that the whole room lit on fire.
Right?
Yeah.
Lit up.
Lit.
The fire started with this. Definitely a case of arson. Somebody hates this kid.
Don't you touch him! Leave him alone!
Aw.
Oh, and now, of course, Cartman's going to
He's
say
gonna
goodbye.
cry. I want to cry now. God.
He's going to say goodbye to Peter Panda.
Panda! Eric! Don't try to talk Peter Panda. You're gonna be okay.
The firefighters.
Just looking at each other.
Sorry, kid, we need to take this as evidence.
That is fucked up that they do need to take it as evidence.
It's just like flat. It's just like, sorry, kid.
It's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
No!
I like how this firefighter, does this firefighter hold him back?
He does.
No, he doesn't. He
doesn't? Oh, I thought his arms went out a little bit.
Oh. All right, here we go. And
He
of
was
course,
going to.
and of course, sir, why did you come here and occupy the Red Robin?
9%ers movement
Almost
continues to grow as more and more Americans occupy Red Robin. I asked some of the people exactly what they hope to accomplish. And sir, what do you hope to accomplish by this movement?
I like the A1 peppercorn burger. They got
Yeah.
bottomless fries.
And as the blood pressure
Bottomless frogs.
Bottomless fries.
That was the best piece of marketing for Red Robin ever.
In the history of ever. Absolutely.
Bottomless fries, because they
Bottomless
still to this
fries.
day have bottomless fries.
Mhm.
It's honestly one of the best things about it. That and the onion ring.
And they have
tower.
pickle chips. Oh, fried pickles in their sauce.
Word is that filmmaker Michael Moore
No.
protesters outside.
This is funny. Now, Michael Moore screaming at Butters and Jimmy.
I look out of the faces of you protesters and I see the future of America. We are the 99%. Yeah!
And they hate him so much. They keep making him fatter and fatter every time they cameo him.
Just the look on Butters and Jimmy.
Oh, oh my God.
All right, now here's what we were talking about. The kids are gonna go approach the fifth graders about like what's going on. Are you like taking out Cartman? Because it's getting kind of dark here, dude.
Hey, dude, are you the guys messing with Cartman's stuffed animals?
Maybe we are and maybe we aren't. You got any proof?
That's
Well, it's just you and
He's
your friends
gonna-
were the ones saying Cartman needs to suffer.
That doesn't prove anything. That fat little fuck is finally getting what's coming to him. He
Jesus.
seriously could have died in that fire.
He's in your class.
Real,
You
bro.
don't.
See, it's interesting because like even though they quote unquote tend to hate him, they also don't want him to die.
they don't need that on their hands, their conscience.
I mean,
they need
also,
it more.
like, also at the same time, like at the end of the day, like he's their little fucking devil that they can get something out of. You know what I mean? Like if they have to go to battle or something, they can get Cartman to do it with them.
Oh yeah, like he's at least reliable and he's psycho. So like
Psycho.
there's a way to use that somehow. But yeah,
We've seen him do
We're
it.
going to remedy the situation.
Yeah.
yeah, always got to
We've
keep that in mind.
plans. Just stay out of our way and let the men handle this.
Here's Cartman and his mother arriving at the Blacks, Tolkien Blacks, that is.
For allowing Eric and I to stay.
Well said.
Of course, you can't be staying in a home with that much fire damage.
To be honest, we're just a little surprised your son begged you to stay with us. We never knew your son and our son were so close.
Ooh,
Oh, they were not. They are not.
I
The
asked
gang
him
would
if
find
way
out
he
that
would
they
feel
were not.
safest, and he said with his friend Token.
Now, of course, this was, of course, recorded back in 2012. So the official name.
no,
Tolkien,
it's just the way they're saying it.
they're just saying it.
Yeah,
Tolkien.
yeah. You got to, yeah. Come on.
This window locks from the inside, right? And this door has a lock on it too? Don't worry, Polly Pussy Pants. You're gonna be safe here. In this day and age, black people are just impervious to being fucked with. So we will
What are
be
you
all right.
talking about?
Why are you involving me in this? Token, please. You're the only person I can trust. Because in today's
Token,
time, black
please,
people
yeah.
are somehow incapable of doing anything wrong.
It's like he knows, and then he just does it to fuck with people. I just think he believes that. Yeah.
Now, here's, of course, the news admitting it's a slow day because they believe that somebody else has left the protest and all they were doing was Butters just going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Breaking news from the Occupy Red Robin movement. The protesters have decreased in number from 2 to 1, as one of the protesters has apparently splintered off from the group to start a new movement, Occupy the Restroom. Tom, Occupy the Restroom has been going on for almost 30 minutes now. Certainly,
Almost 30 minutes
country
now.
is more divided than ever. These 99%ers are fed up, and as a result, you can clearly see this restroom is occupied.
Occupied.
It looks like the movement is finished, but from the time it took, it must have been a pretty decent sized movement.
It definitely was a decent sized movement for Butters. Because if he was in there for 30 minutes, Butters was cooking up some brown Betty, I'll tell you.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Oh, brown Betty, hop my butt. Oh, brown Betty, push my
butt. Oh, jeez.
Eating some ploppies. Making ploppies.
Making floppies.
And here's, of course, Cartman taking advantage of Tolkien's hospitality.
And his anus.
Will you stop changing channels and just pick something?
Just like loudly.
You want to watch Polly Pissy Pants? This is my room. I'll take the remote from you. Nuh-uh, because I'll tell my mom on you when our parents get home.
This is the worst, man.
You're a guest here. Your mom isn't in charge. Nuh-uh, because my house got burned down, so everyone has to feel bad for me.
Ah, damn.
He's got him there.
Nonchalantly just laying it out.
What is that? What is that?
That's the alarm that someone's in the backyard.
What? Who?
I don't know.
I thought I was safe here. Stay there, guys. I'll be right back.
So glad.
Who's there? Lock that door behind you, Token. Black people live here.
Jesus.
Black people live here.
Ooh, got him.
And of course, the first person he attacks is Kyle. Now, what he's going to end up finding out is, and this is the reality truth, Kyle, Stan, and Kenny do show up because they don't want anything to actually happen to him.
I'm trying to help you, fat ass.
Help you, fat ass. Oh, sure. Stop it, Cartman. It's true. We came to keep an eye out. Stephen Tamil said he had something really big planned. Stephen Tamil? The fifth grader?
Oh, that shit. I told you to lock that door, Tolkien. Let's take a quick break here to kind of explain what's going down. So basically, Cartman now is, as he's going to run back in, he's horrified, right? Unbeknownst to him, Cartman's stunned. His friends watch the bizarre scene unfold from a balcony as this all takes place now. He discovers that Muscle Man and Rumper Tumskin, two more of his toys, are destroyed, with the remaining one, Polly Prissy Pants, sitting in an armchair with the revolver, claiming responsibility for all the toy murders. As the camera now drops the fantasy by openly showing Cartman voicing Polly, she explains that she did this because his friends were right when they said that he needed to grow up. Unbeknownst to him, Cartman's stunned friends watch this bizarre scene unfold from a balcony as Cartman's mother and Tolkien's parents watch from outside. Cartman is horrified that Polly murdered her friends, but Polly explains they were holding her back and that they now, with the latter deaths occurring at Tolkien's house, the blame will fall on him while she and Cartman can grow up together. Then Cartman points out that black people cannot be blamed for anything anymore, and Polly realizes her catastrophic error.
You're right.
You're right. And convinces Cartman to shoot her to death in order to escape blame themselves, which Cartman tearfully does. Also, while this is going on, the fifth graders are going to stage a 83% protest right next to Butters and Jimmy, proclaiming that the 83%, they are tired of being punished for the fourth grade class. This begins an argument between the two groups that degenerates into a physical altercation, which the media dubs as class warfare. So let's back into those clips here, and we'll let that unfold and show you how everything breaks down here. So here's the 83%.
Hey, here we go.
And they got signs. And oh my God, it's happened.
Hey, what are you fifth graders doing?
We are the 83%. We are tired of being punished for the fourth grade class. The fourth grade is sticking it to the other 83% of the school.
Now, hold on a second, fellas. If you're the 83%, then our class is only 17%.
Yeah, how can the 17% be sticking it to the 83%?
because your class has Cartman in it, and he's the 1%.
But if he's 1% of 17%, then he's 0.17%.
This is it.
They're getting closer, at least.
And of course, this is all out.
Has happened at Occupy Red Robin. It is full-on class warfare.
And now class warfare is breaking out. Apparently, it is the 4th grade class versus the 5th grade class.
Get him, Jimmy.
It's here. Class warfare is finally here. Yeah.
Here comes Cartman rushing back into Tolkien's house now.
Hello? Whoever you are, just give them back. Haven't you done enough to me?
Maybe not.
Uh-oh.
First, he finds a boiling pot of water.
Oh, no.
And who's in it? Well, it's Muscle Man CM Punk Mark.
He's like horrified now. He's reacting.
Wow, the animation of his face there. Good call out, Scoop. Wow, I've never even seen that.
Yeah.
Muscle Man Mark!
Now, I mean, let's be real here. I mean, Muscle Man Mark is in the water, but I mean, back in the day with these old toys, this is actually how you would clean them. You'd boil them in hot water to get all the disinfectant, and then you let them air dry.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I really don't think this actually would have ruined him.
Those wrestle buddies got this.
Yeah, he's super dirty. You have to like do what's the term? I just saw a fucking video like where it's called like
fucking them.
Huh?
Oh, nothing. Where are we going?
Like stripping, like laundry stripping, cleaning stripping, where you're stripping all the dirt from everything. You know what I mean? Like you stick it.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna spray him.
And then now here comes Cartman now rushing into the living room.
Holy pretty pants! Rubber Tuscan! Jesus Christ!
And there, sitting across the fire, chained up, Rumper Tumpskin.
Uh-oh. Sweet Moses.
Don't come any closer.
You said you wouldn't let anything happen to us. Don't worry, I'll get you down. No, Eric, don't come any.
And apparently,
Jesus, that was intricate. Rumble's butt skin was tied by 4 different chains that were elevated and tied to 4 different points in this mansion. He had a neck bomb on him that was wirelessly attached to a tripwire across the floor in front of the fireplace on which he hung. This, honestly, this is the end. This is it. This guy's never changing. Eric, this, if anything else didn't do it, if the killing of Scott Tenorman's parents didn't do it, Eric is set for life in what he's going to become right here.
That is very true. Well, his head just gets blown off. I know. I really like this animation shot here they do with fucking Cartman and Polly Pritzy Pants with the rack focus here.
Oh yeah, a straight Hitchcock.
Why did you do this?
It's okay, Eric. It's over now.
Polly Pritzy Pants.
Polly Pritzy Pants. You did this?
And as we discovered, yes, Polly Prissy Pants was the culprit.
Don't you see? The kids at school were right, Eric. It was time for us to grow up.
You got rid of Clyde Frog. You
Sweet
burned
Moses.
Peter Panda.
Yes, they're gone.
Now there is his friends watching from the balcony. Told
Jesus.
Yes,
Kyle,
they're gone.
fucking horror.
Stan
While the doll has a gun.
and Kenny.
And now we can grow up and
They
live
see
together.
him reenacting this whole scene.
They were holding us back. All the kids making fun of you and scared, saying you're not kids. Your stuffed animals all had to be gotten rid of, don't you see?
And of course, now we see the Tolkien's family, mother, father, and Leanne Cartman standing outside trying to get into the house, but it's locked. So they're going to end up watching through the window.
Deadbolt.
All up
Token.
there.
Token, you in there?
Bolted.
Pissy Pants, when people find out we did all this, we're gonna get in total trouble.
No, I've thought of everything. It all happened here so that everyone will think Token did it. All the blame will be on him, and we can live happily ever after.
Just one problem.
And then Cartman walks up and
He
takes
says this, and everyone is watching.
right. Cartman takes the
Oh,
gun.
man.
Cartman takes the gun here from Polly Prissy Pants.
You say I had to grow up to get rid of all my dolls. You forget one crucial thing, Polly Pissy Pants.
And you expect him to say anything else but what he says next.
He's got to drop the racism in here.
That nobody would possibly blame Token for all this because in today's day and age, you can't blame a black person for anything.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Like, dude, the opposite of everything Cartman thinks is true. So, you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Where's our Brazilians here?
It's fine.
Oh no, you're totally right. But I thought my plan was perfect. I failed.
And this causes her to do what she does. That causes her to be like, oh my God.
Please kill me.
It's all cool.
No! I've lost every stuffed animal. I won't lose you too.
It's the only way now. You have to do it. Please. I can't live with myself after what I've done.
Just
You have to do it, Eddie.
Please, you have to do it, Eric. So, Eric, while crying here. All right. Okay, I did it, baby.
Yeah, I do it.
Bye, Polly Pissy Pants. I love you.
I love you. And then now,
Say hello to the sunrise for me.
Why does he always do that? Every time he kills one of his own characters, they have to go out. Will I dream? It's
That's
like
right, Mitch got
so
it.
hard.
Mitch got it.
Will I dream? And then he just floats away. God damn, Cartman.
Hasn't this kid had enough?
Wasted his precious time.
Oh! Headshot.
Headshot. Now, of course, Leanne, probably super embarrassed, doesn't know what to say to the Tolkien's family here.
The way this wraps up right here. This part is the cherry.
Jesus Christ, dude.
This part, the way it does this part with the kids. Mwah.
Yeah.
Dude, what the hell?
We told him to grow up. So he got rid of his stuffed animals.
Right? And he did it in such a fashion that you motherfuckers can't deny I got rid of my stuffed animals.
And you, as the audience, the first time you're watching this, you go, oh my God, that's what this was? And then you start to get scared of Eric like they do.
You're like, holy crap, he went through all this just to get rid of stuffed animals, man. That's crazy.
And then you're like, oh, fuck.
Can sometimes be a bit dramatic.
Can you do that one more time, Matt? Just one more time. Nice and clean.
Can sometimes be a bit dramatic.
She's so excited that over the fact that, or I'm sorry, she just makes a joke about that.
My little Eric can sometimes be a bit dramatic.
Oh,
all right. And now, finally, to conclude this episode of the aftermath of Red Robin, Occupy Red Robin.
Occupy Red Robin is over.
It's over.
Class warfare has torn apart the 99% and replaced it with the 30%, the 26%, and even little brackets of 5% here and there.
Okay, makes sense.
What does this mean for our country? What does this mean for me?
Hey, get down to State Street. They're occupying Macaroni Grill.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll occupy me some goat cheese pepper-do peppers.
Goat cheese pepper-do peppers.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is how this episode comes to a close. We'll be right back now on the other side with more trivia, pop culture, references to continuity, and more. We'll be right back.
Suck my balls.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Suck my
welcome
balls.
back now on this other side.
Suck my balls.
Shout out to our sponsors provided by Linktr.ee and Spreaker. Go to Spreaker if you'd like to start your own podcast, or if you download the app, listen that way, we get more revenue. Or if you just want to continue listening on all your favorite podcast catchers, that's fine as well. You can go ahead and you can also check us out on all of our social media outlets. Find us, some of us on Facebook at South Park Fan Club. And you can also find us on all of the YouTube channels there that are available in all the worlds. I don't know, youtube.me, youtube.tacaco. We're worldwide. That's how YouTube works.
YouTube.com/Markiplier. That's where you can find us. That's youtube.com/Markiplier.
That's right. You can find us there. But ladies and gentlemen, we collectively as a group are not the 2022 Red Rocks Day 1 South Park Trivia Champion.
Nope.
We are not trivia gods.
No.
But Mr. Scoop is going to do his darndest. Scoop, serve us up some trivia on a platter.
So this episode's title is the shortest in the series. It contains only 2 characters. This episode has a scene that was intended to be in 201, where Cartman's mom interrupts his party with his stuffed animals. The scene was copied and word for word.
Oh, wow.
Michael Moore goes to South Park to support Butters and Jimmy, saying he is also 99% due to his weight.
Certainly not his wealth.
He would most likely be among the 1% like Cartman had he taken the fitness test. We know this. This episode introduces a new toy of Cartman's called Muscle Man Mark, who is boiled alive. And his face changes from being key to not key. When Cartman is searching for Clyde Frog, he goes through his closet. A jacket and a hat exactly like the ones he was wearing can be seen. This shows that Cartman has extra sets of the same clothing he wears every day. Stan, Kyle, and Kenny show they care for Cartman by keeping a lookout for the 5th grade boys. This care was last shown in Man Bear Pig. I don't know if they actually care. I just think that it might escalate to Cartman dying, and they don't necessarily want to see Cartman die.
Sure.
Let me ask you this, Scoop. Did you care when O.J. Simpson died?
No.
I care to have a ball with it.
Right, but you didn't know O.J. Simpson. If you knew Eric Cartman, even if you didn't like him, you might still care if he died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Stan, Kyle, or Kenny, all this stuff.
Knowing he killed someone's parents. I don't
Exactly.
Yeah, once a waiter is at your house trying to return a pair of sunglasses.
I know, but I'm just saying, if you're his friends, Stan, Kyle, and Kenny, you know what he's done. You don't want to get on his bad side. So wouldn't you rather have that in your back pocket?
I see. So what you're saying, Matt, is you were actually O.J. Simpson's friend, and you cried on the day of his death.
No, neither. Neither.
Polly Prissy Pants appears to demonstrate the same kind of autonomy Mr. Hat once did, as Cartman left his stuffed toys on Tolkien's bed when he goes outside, only to find them murdered when he returns. As he was outside, he could not have physically done this. In the creator's commentary, Trey Parker and Matt Stone mentioned that the original premise for the episode was that Cartman had a heart attack at school due to poor health, and it affects the remaining 99% of the students.
Whoops.
A similar premise was later used in season 23's Let Them Eat Goo.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's your trivia.
That's right. And now it's time for some pop culture with Dane.
Hello, everybody. It's 1% trivia, 1% references to pop culture. This episode is a parody of the Occupy movement, specifically the slogan, "We are the 99%. And instead of protesting in front of banks and government buildings, the 99% Club pickets the parking lots of restaurant chains Red Robin and Macaroni Grill. Director activist Michael Moore showing up in South Park and offering support to the protesters is a reference, as he was a prominent supporter of the actual Occupy movement. Sure, he made a documentary about it. Cartman's tripping the wire and killing Rumper Tumpkin is as similar to how a character in the Showtime series Dexter died, where a police officer tripped a wire and killed a woman right in front of him. Alternately, the bomb collar could be a reference to the Japanese horror survival film A Battle Royale. That film is incredible. I implore anybody listening to watch it. Battle Royale. Muscle Man Mark with a C. That's weird, is a likeness of fashion designer and business entrepreneur Marc Jacobs. That's who he looks like. Yeah, he does. He looks exactly like Marc Jacobs. I've seen Marc Jacobs completely and utterly naked, like 3 feet from me. He looked good.
Wow.
In the creator's commentary, Trey and Matt mentioned the idea for Muscle Man Mark came after they found out that Jacobs actually has tattoos of Clyde Frog and Rumper Tumpkin. No, he doesn't. On his forearm. Oh, wait. Yes, he does. Because I've seen him naked, but his arms were curled because he was holding his balls. South Park did a thing with him and he got naked. It was crazy. Jacob's letter sent a card to Trey and Matt to thank them, saying he was honored to be parodied in this episode, but probably not mentioning that he was also boiled alive. He also got a tattoo of Muscle Man Mark to commemorate his appearance on the show, which he thought, or which Trey and Matt thought, rather, were funny. The masked hippie protester is wearing a Guy Fawkes mask from the film and graphic novel V for Vendetta, and also the internet meme. This mask is, of course, typically associated with the internet activist group Anonymous. Cartman finding Muscle Man Mark boiling in a pot is a parody of the scene in Fatal Attraction in which Michael Douglas's character goes into the kitchen and finds the same thing had been done to his daughter's pet rabbit by who? The ice pick killer herself. When Peter Panda is dying after being burned, he tells Cartman to stay key. This is a parody of the scene in the novel The Outsiders in which Johnny tells Pony Boy to stay gold. That was a sad scene. That movie made me cry. That movie has Tom Hanks in it. That movie is actually pretty good. Can you smell when Cartman's room is raided near the beginning of the episode, one of the first things he searches for is Batman Arkham City. A portion of the game's front cover can be seen. It's fairly accurate. He also searches for Stormtrooper Watch, which is a reference to Star Wars. I can't believe it says that. I wonder if the Stormtrooper Watch like made a noise on the hour, like, oh, it's now 11:39 a.m. or something like that. That'd be cool. When Cartman sees Clyde Frog's corpse, the music playing is similar to a music sample from the horror movie The Shining. This episode contains multiple satirical political statements decrying Barack Obama, president at the time, irrationally stating how it seems that a black person obviously cannot be blamed for anything because he's elected. I mean, fair. A lot of people thought that.
Yeah.
Oh, stupid. The majority of Cartman's story symbolizes the German animated film Day, as Cartman struggles to solve the murder of his stuffed animal toys. Wait, that there's a German movie about that? Of course there is, because even the German children's movies have to be so dark and about murder. In the cafeteria, Butters mentions that Skeletor has filed for Stan points out that he is confusing the He-Man cartoon villain with journalist Maria Shriver and her then husband actor Arnold Schwarzenegger with the cyborg he played in Terminator. This is a reference, of course, to Shriver actually filing for divorce in July 2011 from Schwarzenegger after he had an affair with the housekeeper and fathered a child with her. Fun fact, go look up a picture of that housekeeper and go, why the fuck did you do that? Go look it up. Not decrying that she's ugly, I'm just saying. When Harrison Yates and the officers discuss the areas that they have blocked off, they also mention the rock band Bon Jovi will be there to keep the cops entertained. He's a good cop and he needs room. And that is your pop culture. Matt, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some storyline continuity. This is the first time we see South Park Elementary's new gym uniform, though, as Scoop mentioned, Kenny could not afford one. This is the first episode to feature the South Park Auditorium. This is the third time the students of South Park Elementary gang up on Cartman. The other times were in the breast cancer show ever and the death of Eric Cartman. This is the first time Clyde Frog has been acknowledged since the episode Tonsil Trouble. And this is the second time Clyde Frog has actually died, first time being Tonsil Trouble.
He's dying.
Of course, this episode continues the ambiguous nature of the characters Cartman creates, like Mitch Connor and Jennifer Lopez. The stuffed animals appear to take actions independently, but Cartman's friends behave as if he's always controlling them. It remains intentionally unclear whether the show is engaging in magical realism, Cartman has split personalities, or it's simply deeply involved in his own world of pretend. And the last two things here, as we saw in a common game sphere, could be seen in Tolkien's room next to his bed. This, of course, was first seen in the episode Tally. Mm-hmm. And the final piece of continuity, this is the fourth episode of the season with the theme of growing up. In Crack Baby Athletic Association, the boys are told Slash is just a story for children and to stop believing him. In You're Getting Old, Stan becomes cynical and loses interest in things he used to love. In Asperger, Stan comes to terms with the changes of getting older that it brings, but then it's thrust back onto his regular routine. And finally, in this episode, Cartman kills off his stuffed animals after realizing that he needs to grow up.
Dun-dun-dun.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is your storyline continuity.
Yeah!
And now, Dane, what'd you like about this episode, buddy? Tell me what you liked.
This episode is so amazing. This episode I go back to constantly because it is a pinnacle of writing for this show. It is fantastic. There's not a downbeat moment. The storyline is solid. They even have an A-B while they still do the same thing. Whereas a lot of A-B storylines, especially in South Park, are just like different groups doing different things or like different goals and ideas. But like, especially in the last few seasons, man, ooh, those A-B storylines are always pretty well tied together. I mean, it's just fantastic. It's a great episode, and one that just, it is one of those pinnacle episodes that proves how smart South Park is on a level to where they can just do character work. Like, this is the comparison to Family Guy I'll make. Like, could Family Guy ever accomplish this level of storytelling inside character? Could it ever? No, because they're so focused on the jokes. But this is the genius of South Park. The jokes just come from the writing that they put through these characters. And this is one of those episodes that I would hold up, and I would be like, this may not be my favorite. This may not even be my top 20. But this episode is what South Park is to me. It is just everything that makes South Park so fucking smart and it gives it such longevity.
Scoop, what'd you like or dislike about this episode?
So what I liked a lot about this episode was the elaborateness and everything that went through with his his dolls, really. And it's just how scary it was to watch him kill them in front of his friends after they told him. It's like, well, we told him to grow up and stop playing with dolls. Yeah, like I said, it just shows how scary Cartman can end up being in the end.
Yeah, I agree. I like you by design, right? Showing Cartman's meticulous way of coming to terms with his own childhood and realizing that the symbolism of these stuffed animals are going to be a weakness now because it's been pointed out publicly to his classmates. And therefore, Cartman cannot appear to be weak. So thus, he went through this huge ordeal to show his friends that he does not need these stuffed animals. And now, going forward, it can never be referenced again. So it's a very interesting way of thinking that not only was Cartman growing up somehow, but really he might have been psychologically doing it as a way, how do I cover this up? So you're right, Scoop. He's definitely diabolical in that nature. I liked I liked the animation, the different shots they use a lot in this season, as far as, creating different camera effects, movements and whatnot in the animation style of the show.
Yeah.
I liked we got to see the ridiculousness of the 99% and the 1%. Now we didn't really talk about it in this whole episode itself, but for those who weren't around then, I guess in America, I can't speak to the rest of the world, but there was, of course, people were occupying Wall Street because they were upset over the fact that 1% of the population holds the most wealth, while 99% of the other population is struggling just to get a piece of the pie. And thus they took over Wall Street and staged a protest by sleeping in, it was like a park or whatever it was, for almost a full 2 months straight. What did it accomplish?
Didn't do anything.
It didn't do anything.
Not a thing.
Nothing.
So, just like this episode.
Otherwise,
right?
Where's my Royce?
Just like this episode, the Occupy at the end did nothing.
Nope.
But I agree. This is a good episode to me. Top 100 for me. I like this episode.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this week's edition of SMB, a South Park review. We're coming up next week for a History Channel Thanksgiving. What happens when the boys learn about the real history of Thanksgiving? Does it include aliens? Did aliens appear at the first Thanksgiving ever? Kyle Braflowski of ITT Technical Institute thinks so. We'll find out next week on another edition of SMB.
SMB, baby.
A South Park review.